The Tom Hanks Enigma by David Gardner. Prologue. Just a cobblestone's throw from the busy film set at historic Lincoln Cathedral, the angry nun was in no mood to back down as she disrupted shooting with an impassioned reminder that the Roman Catholic Church was in uproar over the religious sleuthing born out of the success of Dan Brown's controversial blockbuster, The Da Vinci Code. Sister Mary Michael called on God to combat the blasphemy committed by Tom Hanks in starring in the £90 million movie version of the Pope's least-liked potboiler, and she was confident it would be struck down by a lightning bolt of hostility at the box office. The only problem was that this was Tom Hanks, and no one seems able to be angry with him for long. So, after damning Lincoln Cathedral, used by Sony Pictures as a stand-in for the publicity-shy Westminster Abbey, for putting sanctity on sale by accepting £100,000 from director Ron Howard for permission to film in the 1,000-year-old house of worship, and having roundly blasted the book's sinful suggestion that Jesus sired a child with Mary Magdalene, Sister Mary turned her attention to Tom. He was described in the local press as the first famous person to come to Lincoln since William the Conqueror, and was embraced by the city like a long-lost son. So Sister Mary decided she had to leave a peace offering. It was a rose plant, she explained. On the card I wrote, "No hard feelings. The protesting nun." It is a trifling story, but one which offers a clue to the appeal of the enigmatic star, who has navigated his way through the shark-infested, ego-inflating waters of Hollywood, and still manages to be liked by a nun on the warpath over his pivotal role in a project which challenges the very pillar stones of her unbending faith. Weeks later, he would invite 10-year-old Carr Edwards on a private tour of medieval Rosslyn Chapel in Midlothian, Scotland, where the next leg of filming was underway, instantly disarming opponents of the film north of the border. Throughout his latest filming trip to Britain, to play cerebral sleuth Professor Robert Langdon and lead cinema-goers through the heart-stopping fictional labyrinth of the Da Vinci Code's deeply buried papal secrets, Tom was every inch the laid-back, never-rattled Mr. Nice Guy his legions of loyal fans would expect. But Tom Hanks was hiding his own secret. His own life was in danger. Ever since his thriller became an international phenomenon, selling more than 25 million copies around the world, author Dan Brown has lived with the possibility that he could be the target of an unhinged religious maniac, intent on avenging perceived slights to some of the central tenets of Catholicism. Now, Tom found himself in the firing line, and it was not a threat he took lightly. He appeared as friendly and approachable as ever, given the fact that his fame made for a very abnormal normality. But, during the UK filming, the actor was often surrounded by as many as 5 bodyguards to protect him from the mobs of well-wishers, and the possibility of a more sinister attack. On his first night in Lincoln, Tom took tea with the Dean of Lincoln, the Very Reverend Alec Knight, and went out for a meal with his family at a local pub, the Wig and Mitre. Owner Toby Hope could not have been more delighted to welcome one of his film heroes, and set him up in the last free table before serving up smoked salmon and fillet steaks. But he couldn't help noticing the burly men dotted around the pub, as if the Prime Minister had dropped in for a pint. It was funny, he said to a newspaper reporter at the time, because there were 2 bodyguards in the corner, 2 in the upstairs bar, and 1 downstairs. The unease wasn't helped in Scotland when a 39-year-old intruder slipped past security and got into the grounds of Rosslyn Chapel before police intercepted him. It turned out that the man was merely a persistent fan who was obsessed with getting Tom's autograph, but the incident served to underline the ever-present threat. Like everything else...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?